All Black squad for the Rugby Championship is out, folks. It's a couple of days late. It was supposed to be announced on Wednesday, but here we are on Friday. Squad has been announced. There's been a lot talked about in the media about what the likely ramifications of the Irish series loss would be and what changes the All Blacks would be making. The main rumours were Kane to be axed as captain. There wasn't really much about Fozzie losing the job. That seems to be more of a fan thing than a genuine kind of prediction. Also, some of Fozzie's assistant coaches to potentially face the axe and take the blame instead. So basically, someone to take the fall for the Irish series, but not Fozzie. And has any of that happened? Not really. Not really. She's pretty steady as she goes. We'll go over the squad pretty quickly, and you guys can let me know your thoughts. I'm yet to see the actual video of Fozzie's press conference, but there were some journalists who were there who were kind of putting all the main nuggets out there. So, we'll go through them. Now, the main changes are a couple of the forwards. I mean, the props have a change, but the hookers are the same. Coles, Taylor, and Taukei'aho. Same hookers as last time. Props, it's Bauer to Groot, Ross, Laulala, Taukei'aho, and Tuungafasi. The change there is De Groot coming in for Tuungafasi. Remember, Tuungafasi's off to France, so his pick initially for the Irish series was a bit of a kind of question mark, a bit of a few eyebrows raised for that one, because if he's leaving New Zealand rugby, they didn't see that much point in investing more in him. But anyway, they have made that change at last. Apparently, Fozzie said that De Groot's looking a wee bit leaner and a wee bit fitter. Now I should also note that Taukei'aho is still serving a suspension for the tackle on Ringrose in the Irish series, so he's not going to travel to South Africa. His spot's essentially taken by Lomax, he's not part of the official team, but he's still kind of a travelling replacement, I guess, in case he is called upon. Lock, Scott Barrett, Tuipulotu, Whitelock, Retallick, and Vaa'i. So pretty much the same. Remember, Josh Lord missed the series initially before the Irish series even started, so he's obviously not available. And Brodie Retallick is another one who's not travelling to South Africa as he recovers from his broken cheek. So, broken cheekbone anyway. So, Josh Dixon is essentially going to do the same thing and travel in his stead. So we might see Retallick a bit later on in the series. Loose forward, Sam Cane is captain. So no changes there, and Fozzie apparently said he's got faith in Sam Cane. So there you go. Frizell, Akira, Ioane, Papalii, Savea, and Sotutu. So the main change there is the return of Shannon Frizell and the dropping of Peter Gus Soakula. I didn't see anything about kind of reasoning behind Soakula's being dropped. It's going to further fuel the fires that say New Zealand just like capping these overseas-born players, like Soakula, who was also eligible for Fiji, just to keep him out of other teams' hands. So there you go. Frizell, apparently he said, has had a kind of tough 18 months, but he's looking forward to having him back in the fold. So maybe that speaks to the question mark about what we've had going on at number 6 not being quite satisfactory, but either way, that is kind of one of the other changes. Backs, Christie, Fakatava, Smith, same halfbacks, Barrett, Mo'unga, Perofeta. I remember Perofeta's in the squad even if we didn't see him play Ireland. Same 10s. Goodhue, Havili, Rico, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, and Tupaia are the same midfielders, although Goodhue is going to miss the South African leg as well with his ACL injury. So Braden Ennor is the third guy who kind of steps in as a temporary replacement in that regard. And then Geordie Barrett, Fainga'anuku, Caleb Clark, Jordan, and Reese make out the outside back. So no real wholesale changes, folks. If you wanted Sam Cane gone, either as captain or out of the 23 or 30 or whatever 36-man squad entirely, nope, he's still there and he's still captain, and Fozzie's still got faith in him. If you wanted Fozzie gone, nope, he's still there. Didn't think for one moment about stepping down. He's promised, he says there will be changes, but apparently didn't elaborate on what those might be, so he probably doesn't know, but he's keeping his cards close to his chest. Fozzie said of himself that he's strong, resilient, strategic, could have fooled some of us, I guess, and accountable. I think a lot of us would maybe argue that the fact that there's minimal changes indicates a little bit of a lack of accountability, but then again, as rugby fans, we can be pretty fickle. When the coaches change things every 5 minutes, we do say, why do they change everything? Why do they rotate so much? You can't get any kind of consistency. But anyway, I think most of us expected a little bit more. Apparently, Fozzie didn't initiate, I didn't expand on whether some of his assistants will be changing, but it seems to have been hinted at in the press conference that there's going to be a process to follow. With regards to Joe Schmidt, he's part of the selection team that selected this team, but he's not travelling to South Africa either. So if you're looking for any kind of strategic gold from him, you are not going to find it, because he's just there basically filling Grant Fox's role as selector, apparently. So there's your squad. Pretty same. The Groot in for Tuungafasi, Frizell in for Soakula, and then 3 guys in all, Lomax and Dixon travelling temporarily for Retallick, for Goodhue, and for Taukei'aho. So there you go. Fixtures-wise, 2 away games in South Africa. So, as I've said many times, it doesn't get any easier for Fozzie, because he's already absolutely under the pump, having lost, 4 of the last 5? 2 games in South Africa, certainly not the ideal way to get back on track. It's going to be challenging, to say the least. Then 2 home games to the Pumas, and then away and then home to the Wallabies. What would it take for Fozzie to actually get the sack? 2 games in South Africa. If we lost those, it wouldn't be kind of surprising. Maybe home losses to Argentina would be surprising. And losing the Bledisloe would certainly be catastrophic. But we will see. We will see if the consistency in the coaches and the playing staff and the captain pays off, or whether some changes needed. Time is seriously running out, because even though it's over a year to the Rugby World Cup, that's really not many games, test matches between here and the Rugby World Cup. So anyway, folks, that's it. That's the squad. You guys let us know your thoughts. How do you reckon the All Blacks are going to go with this fixtures list? Optimistic? Pessimistic? Anyway, we'll see what happens. You guys have any thoughts? I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.